10 most beautiful medieval castles in the world. Despite the Middle Ages also being referred to as the Dark Ages, a period associated with an overall decline after the fall of the Roman Empire, certain beautiful relics, like medieval castles, have survived through the centuries. All over Europe, you can find these strongholds, each with its unique features. Some perched on top of a mountain, others seemingly floating above water, and some nearly hidden by the leafy cover of trees. Medieval castles had to be both functional, durable, and easy on the eyes, considering that many were an escape to the royalty and aristocrats. Many of Europe's medieval castles are iconic and easily recognized, while others are off the beaten path. But before we start, subscribe to our channel and hit the bell icon to get notified whenever we upload a new video. Here is our pick of the 10 most beautiful medieval castles in the world. Number 10. Burghausen Castle, Germany. With almost all of its medieval fortifications intact, is one of the largest castle complexes in the world and the longest, according to the Guinness World Record Company. This medieval Bavarian castle was the second residence of the Dukes of Lower Bavaria. It is built in Gothic style with an inner courtyard and 5 outer courtyards. Located near the borders of Germany and Austria, the castle offers unmatched views of its surroundings and is a must-see when visiting Lower Bavaria. The gallery within the castle has a collection of late Gothic panel paintings and a monumental picture cycle illustrating the history of Bavaria. Number 9. Fenis Castle, Italy. Fenis Castle is situated on the top of a small knoll, unlike many other castles built for military and defense purposes. Despite its defense structure, its function was only to be the seat of the Chaland family. Its design is robust but harmonious. Its pentagonal layout features corners with round towers. An exception is the southwest corner, which has a massive tower, and the southern corner with a square plan tower. The keep is enclosed in a double perimeter wall, with watchtowers linked by a walkway. Number 8. Doorwerth Castle, Netherlands. Not far from Arnhem lies the charming castle of Doorwerth, situated on the River Rhine. The first castle, probably a wooden structure, was first mentioned in records around the second half of the 13th century. Later it was rebuilt from stone. The castle of Doorwerth has a unique and truly delightful appearance. Its picturesque surroundings add to the character, and despite being surrounded by a moat, it feels inviting. The grounds of the castle feature one of the oldest trees in Holland. The acacia tree was planted there around the year 1600. Nowadays the castle is open for visitors. Number 7. Corvin Castle, Romania. While most people think of Dracula when they hear the name of Transylvania, this part of Romania is truly renowned for its castles. We already mentioned Bran Castle, and this list would not be complete without also mentioning Corvin Castle. The castle was built at the very end of the Middle Ages and is designed in a Gothic Renaissance style. Corvin Castle is actually one of the largest castles in Europe. The castle features a large and imposing structure with tall towers, bastions, an inner courtyard, diversely colored roofs, and rows of windows and balconies decorated with stone carvings. The Buzdugan Tower was built for defensive purposes. Its exterior is decorated with geometric elements. The castle served as a fortress until the mid-14th century, when it became the residence of Transylvania's voivode, Ioncu de Hunedoara. Number 6. Alhambra, Spain. The palace and fortress complex in Andalusia, Spain, known as Alhambra, was built in the 13th century by Nasrid Emir Mohammed ben al-Ahmar of the Emirate of Granada. Built on top of former Roman fortification ruins, it became a royal palace in 1333, and a century later the site became the royal court of Ferdinand and Isabella. The legend has it, Christopher Columbus got an endorsement for his expedition there. Alhambra strongly reflects the Moorish architecture element signature to the reign of the last Muslim dynasty on the Iberian Peninsula. The number of visitors allowed to go to Alhambra is highly limited, therefore visits should be planned well ahead of time. Number 5. Mont-Saint-Michel, France. Few places in the world are as magical as the Mont-Saint-Michel Bay in France. The awe-inspiring island located where Normandy and Brittany meet is otherworldly and unique. Even though not technically a castle, it would be difficult for anyone to deny its magnificence. What sits on top of the island is a medieval monastery attracting pilgrims for centuries. The legend tells that Bishop Albert from a nearby town was ordered by Archangel Michael himself to build a church on top of the island. Construction of a Benedictine abbey began in the late 10th century. The scenery surrounding the island is ever-changing as the tides of the bay can recede quickly, revealing a completely different view. During the low tide, the island can be reached on foot, and hundreds of tourists visit each day. Number 4, Bran Castle, Romania. When talking about medieval castles, mentioning Romania is a must. Most people will immediately think of Dracula and Transylvania. Many consider Bran Castle in central Romania directly linked to Bram Stoker's character, however, no direct links to that exist. Bran Castle sits atop on a former Teutonic Knights stronghold dating back to the early 13th century, but the castle itself first appeared in documents dating back to 1377. The castle is approximately 2,500 feet above the sea level and rises from between surrounding trees. It overlooks the picturesque village of Bran, and the several towers and turrets give it a mysterious mood. Nowadays tourists can visit the castle and wander through the narrow stairways leading to 60 timbered rooms, interestingly, many of them connected by underground passages. Number 3. Edinburgh Castle, Scotland. Another Scottish beauty is the Edinburgh Castle. Sitting on top of Castle Rock, it overlooks the capital of Scotland. Unsurprising, considering the majority of medieval castles had strategic locations, the key was being able to see the enemy and remain difficult to reach. A dramatic history didn't spare Edinburgh Castle due to the tensions between England and Scotland. During the First and Second Wars of Scottish independence, the ownership of the castle changed between the Scottish and the English several times. To this day, Edinburgh Castle remains a top attraction for anyone visiting the city, and tourists can take part in various guided tours and events. And if that's not your cup of tea, why not simply enjoy the stunning views? Number 2. Eilean Donan, Scotland. Eilean Donan is perhaps one of the most well-known medieval castles, easily recognized by almost anyone. Partly thanks to being featured in the 1986 film Highlander, but also as one of the must-see places in the Western Highlands of Scotland. This Highland gem is located on an island between three sea lochs, Loch Duich, Loch Long, and Loch Alsh. Historically, it was a stronghold for the Clan Mackenzie and was established in the 13th century. Unfortunately, the original castle suffered destruction in the 18th century during the Jacobite rebellions and was rebuilt in the 20th century. Number 1. Eltz Castle, Germany. Eltz Castle has steadily become one of the most photographed castles on Instagram, with many landscape photographers choosing to capture it during the eerie hours of the day. The castle sits on top of a hill surrounded by a thick forest, adding to the mysterious feel. Located in Rhineland-Palatine, known as the Moselle wine region, famous for Riesling wine, due to its secluded position, it feels worlds away. Just like many medieval castles, Eltz Castle has seen its fair share of conflict but was never destroyed over the centuries. Interestingly, Eltz family has possession of the castle to this day. So, this was our list of most beautiful castles in the world. I hope you enjoyed it. Don't forget to like, share and subscribe. Thanks for watching.